Hello everyone, welcome back to the Mazda MX5. It's finally given us a break in the weather to allow me to have the roof down after what has been 3 weeks of non-stop rain. This video is also being filmed on my new Insta360 camera, hence why you're getting some very cool movements as I'm driving now. I'm using the 360-degree modification, so it's going to allow me to get a lot more angles and allow myself to be a lot more creative on the channel. I also want to say a huge thank you to each and every one of you who shown love, shown me support, sent me a DM and really sympathise with myself regarding my Audi R8 fire. There is an update coming with that car very soon, so make sure you stay tuned for that. It will likely be the next video. So my health, I'm feeling a lot better, to be honest. I'm not fully there, but compared to how I was when I filmed that video, I am doing a lot better. But today, as you can tell, we're out for a drive in the MX5 and this car is just brilliant. But what I wanted to do was reel off my opinions between this car and the BMW Z4. It's a question I get asked an awful lot. Which car is better, a Z4 Roadster or the Mazda MX5? Now, I feel that I am more than qualified to answer this, as I have owned 4 Z4s in the past. But this is actually a really difficult question to answer. If you ask me which is the better car, I would say the Z4, hands down, purely for looks, build quality, and it's just a stylistic car. I think it looks better than the MX5, it looks a bit beefier, wider, and you can also get a really nice stance from them with some nice coilovers. But the thing I'm finding with this car, my Mark II MX5, is just how fun it is. And you just can't have this much fun for the price. Now, one of the things that makes this car so much fun is the fact it's fitted with an LSD. Now, to my understanding, you can't get a Z4 with an LSD unless it is the Z4M, which they're 10 grand plus. This car you can pick up for 1/10 of that price. And for that reason, you could argue that the MX5 is the better car. But it's a very, very tricky one, I have to say. The Z4 is just cool. Now, during my time with the MX5, I'll be honest, I didn't expect to like it as much as I do. It's one of those cars I'd never really considered owning. I always just jumped to Z4s, that was my go-to roadster. And I don't know, I just saw them as a bit, well, a bit like a hairdresser's car, which is the running joke for any kind of convertible. But now I've owned one for around a month or so, it's honestly the most fun I've ever had in a car. Partly is because parts are so easily accessible and incredibly cheap. Rear tyres for this, part warns, 30 quid a tyre. So when I'm drifting, doing burnouts and sliding out of junctions, it doesn't matter. Everyone who says, oh, you've done a burnout, what about your tyres? It frankly doesn't matter. 60 quid, the rear is all sorted again, you are road legal. Try and do that in a BMW Z4, then you're looking at around, oh God, my memory. Tyre on a Z4 was like 120 quid each, I think, maybe, I don't know. But yeah, miles per mile factor in this car, you can't beat it. It is frankly not the best car I've owned, but the most fun car I've owned. I could do things in this which I would never have done in any of my previous cars because they would have been too expensive, parts would have been too expensive, but in this, it just doesn't matter. The LSD makes it a complete joy to drive, and I've got to say, on a B road, yes, you get a lot of body roll. A Z4 definitely handles a lot flatter than this does, but it makes the drive that much more comical and quite enjoyable, to be honest. MX5 friend, did he wave? He could not care less. And that's my point. Just a little slide there. What cars have I owned in the past where I would just go around the corner and kick the clutch and the car would be so easy to manage? That's the thing about this. You can use this car to perfect and learn new skills because it is so forgiving, it is so predictable where it's going to go. And I think that's because of the short wheelbase. it just makes it such a hoon to drive. And that's where this car comes alive. You've really got to thrash this car. It's only good for around 140 brake, but being a small, lightweight two-seater sports car, it doesn't really need any more power. And that's where the kind of magic of the MX-5 comes alive, is getting this car up to around 7k and throwing it around a B road. It is absolutely hilarious fun. And the MX-5 community is brilliant. You see an MX-5, you wave, apart from that guy back there. And you just, like now, I'm going to Cafe and Machine, there will be other MX-5 owners there, and you feel part of a kind of family. You don't necessarily get that with a Z4. Don't get me wrong, I've met many great people and friends from the Z4 community, but there's just something this car does so well that the Z4 doesn't. And I think it is purely the fact that you can get one of these for a third of the price of a bottom end kind of budget of a Z4. And for that price, you just can't go wrong. You can't have more fun for roughly £1,000 than you can in this. It is absolutely fantastic. So if you're in the market for either an MX-5 or a Z4, you can't really go wrong. Both are fantastic cars. And I'm not saying that I will never own a Z4 again, because personally, I think they're timeless. I think they look fantastic. And there's just something cool about the way it looks. Now, it just very much depends on your budget. If you want to have absolutely unlimited amount of fun and have a smile on your face all the time, you can get an MX-5. Spend around £1,000 to £2,000. You can get a fairly decent one. 1.8 with the LSD, and it is absolutely phenomenal. If you want to spend kind of bottom end of the Z4 bracket, you're looking at around £3,000. Now, that's around 3 times the price of an MX-5. Now, it depends what your preference is, but realistically, you're going to have more fun in this. This is the best car all round as a package if you just want fun. If you want to be a bit posier and a bit more flash, get the badge, then by all means get the Z4, but there's just something about an MX-5 that has completely won me over. I honestly did not expect to love it this much. Maybe it's got an image problem, yeah, whatever. I don't think I'm that bothered. I'm not as bothered as I thought I would be about that, but it doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, I'm having an enormous amount of fun. I've got the roof down, and it doesn't matter. I just love how simplistic it is. Of course, this being a 21-year-old car, it's going to be a bit Spartan in here, but that's what I love. It's so analog. The gear shifts are nice, short, very precise. Weirdly, the steering is a lot more sharper than I was expecting. For a 21-year-old car, it's still got it. But anyway, guys, I hope you have enjoyed this little video. It's mainly just me getting back out there, making content for you guys, testing out my new camera, and just coming across, like, reeling off my personal opinions between this and the Z4, as I do get asked a rather lot. Don't forget to like this video and of course subscribe so you do not miss out any of my future upcoming content with the MX-5, and of course the updates on my fire damaged Audi R8. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you as always for the support. It really does mean a lot. I'll see you in the next one.